If you're about to pick the next book you're going to read, you better stay tuned and listen to this. Look at this one, Embrace Your Age. I actually even have the author here who's going to talk to us and tell us a little bit about the book. Welcome, James Flaherty. Jim, I can call you Jim, right?
By all means, Mike. Absolutely.
Our viewers are always looking for their next book, and you have this one. In fact, all your books have a theme about, it seems to be a theme, your nonfiction books. This one's called Embrace Your Age. Tell our viewers about this.
Okay. What I really like to talk about, something that I believe in very strongly, is that age should not be a big negative, oh my God, I'm getting older feeling in your head.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it is true. You are as old as you think. And if you think old, you will get old. So I'm trying to remind people that the band won't stop playing till they stop dancing, till you stop dancing. So, or as George Bernard Shaw put it, he said, you don't stop laughing when you get old. You get old when you stop laughing. In other words, keep living. Everybody has a purpose in their mind, a purpose for living, and find your own purpose so that you can wake up with a smile and say, hot damn, another day, another opportunity to get out there and to see, hear, taste, touch, feel, smell, share, love, embrace, to be part of life. It's very important. And Embrace Your Age is about that. In every chapter, there's a question. Why do you exist? Why don't you have more friends? How are you going to handle it when they die? I get right into it because we all have to face age, and obviously we have to cope with the fact that our DNA might say, guess what, you're going to have to deal with diabetes or heart disease. If you do, face it, confront it, say, fine, I'm going to go to this clinic or that clinic because they handle it better, and get your mind in the right place. And guess what? If you get your mind going, that's half of getting better from anything.
Yeah.
And then you could face your life. I'm currently working on a book. The newest book I'm writing, the working title is called Loving Longevity. And the subtitle is going to be, I'm 89, which I am. I'm 89 and have a 10-year plan.
Okay.
So,
There you go.
I'm counting on it. My children, wise ass that they are, I wonder why, say, gosh, a really sweet, sympathetic, conscientious father of 88, 89 would just go to bed and not wake up and leave his children whatever money's left. But no, not you. You'll live forever just to spite us.
Yeah.
I told them, absolutely, which is what they want. And I'm planning on it because I've got things to do.
Yeah, my dad's 89. I'm going to make sure he watches this interview and gets this book, both. So,
good.
Now, here's one of your previous books, by the way, Dear Old Friends. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Dear Old Friends, I actually wrote it originally as a love letter to all the friends in my life. For some reason, from the time I was a teenager, I had friends 20, 30, 40, 50 years older than I. And when I was 40 years old, I sat down one day to write a love letter to all these people who were then 60, 70, 80. And I liked it, I filed it, and I found it about 5 years ago and said, gosh, what a nice story. And I kind of brought it up to date. And it was an 80-page letter that I'd written, and I turned it into about a 120-page book. And it basically is it's me remembering the wonderful effect that these older friends had on me. They told me to, turn left, turn right, do this, don't do that. That's stupid, Jim, or that's brilliant, or I don't know what I would have done without you, or my life would have been probably better without you. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
They had a great influence on me.
And Jim, I want to get you wrote some fiction books too, but before we get to that, I'm going to go back to this your first book, Embrace Your Age, and I hear you kind of saying, make a plan for your life and live the plan. Get a 10-year plan going out there. I really like that message.
Yeah, I mean, just because you've reached 70, you say to yourself, "Oh, God, I can't. I better not buy anything on a long-term basis." I mean, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
Statistically, and all officials say this is true, 50% of the children born today in civilized countries are going to live to 100.
Oh, boy.
Now, think of the effect of that on governments in terms of voting blocks,
Yeah.
in terms of how do you care for the people as they get older who may need medical care, and are families equipped with it, and also for people to realize that just because they're 50, they can't say, "Well, I'm really getting up in years." Hey, you're just at the midway point. You still have another at least 30 productive years ahead of you. I mean, I will be. I lied. I'm not 89. I won't be 89 until September 22nd.
Okay.
But I'll be 89.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me. I really don't sit around thinking, "Oh my God, how could I possibly be that old?" To tell the truth, I didn't expect to live that long.
Right.
I mean, none of the Flaherty men lived past 60.
Wow.
And my father, because of a hospital error, died at age 47. So I thought, well, as I hit 60, I thought, well, I'm here and I'm feeling great. And at 70, I was still at it. I thought I better financially try to prepare for 80. And then at 80, I started working toward 90.
Getting ready for 90.
Because I know I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I am doing things on my creative plate because I am a writer and a public speaker. There are things that I still want to do that I haven't finished. And so therefore, I'm planning on getting the bulk of them done in the next 5 or 6 years. Yeah. But I still would like to have my fiction books turned into TV series or into movies. I'd like to get into more public speaking because I enjoy going out on the stage after you go through the horror of wondering, did you remember to zip up your fly? But it's always, life goes on, and I want it to be full, and I want it to be interesting.
I'm going to ask you about your fiction books in a moment, but for our viewers, this is Jim's latest book, Embrace Your Age. Go order it wherever you order your books, but don't click once and order one. Click 10 times, order 10 of them, for goodness sakes, and give these things away. You know somebody that could use this book. I could use it myself. I'm 65. So
and right now, for this show, I put the price down in Amazon. It's only like $5.25 or something like that for a paperback.
Very good.
I lowered the price.
Now's the time, viewers.
Price there for
Now's the time. I know, Jim, we're out of time. We're way past time. But here's a couple books. I think you got Claire, and what's the next one?
Well, the first fiction novel I wrote was The Role of a Lifetime, which I didn't think of it at the time, but then somebody asked me to summarize it, and it basically is a contemporary My Fair Lady. But it's a good story. It's a good read, and it's about the girl who's nowhere, a nobody from nowhere, who reinvents herself and becomes, the top of the world, and marries a prince, and life goes on. It's very interesting. And the other is a different kind of woman. It's a woman who has it all, and I've named her Claire, and it's called Wife, Mother, Mistress, Murderer.
Oh, boy.
And it talks about her life. She's beautiful, she's successful, and all the different things that happen to her. For the cover of that, I used an old painting of my younger daughter, my baby daughter, who is 62 years old.
Okay.
and still very beautiful. And I showed her the book when it was finished, and she looked at it because it says wife, mother, mistress, murderer, and she said, "Well, I've never murdered anyone."
Or has she? There's a question mark there. James, we're way past time, but just I want to give you a moment. Any thoughts you want to share about your books, your life? Any message to our viewers?
Well, no, I'd love you to read the books. I also, if there's somebody out there, one of the hardest things in life, somebody said, "Jim, you really need an agent." I said, "I think it would be easier to get the Pope to come to a meeting in New York and bless my dinner than to find a meaningful agent."
Yeah.
When you are nobody, I'm a successful nobody, but I really need a wonderful agent who can say, "Okay, I'll look at your books." And I also have an original TV series that I've written,
Okay.
and a screenplay in my portfolio. And I would love to talk to somebody and show them and say, "Look at this. I believe," and I have a very commercial head because I was a madman in New
that's
York
right.
City for many years, that they would be successful.
Yeah. Well, you got ready-made products. So if you're an agent out there, we got a guy with the products all ready to go. Thank you, James. And I hope you'll come again. You're one of my favorite guests to talk to.
I love to be on screen with you, Mike,
All right.
anytime.
We'll be back with more authors right after this.